Okay, it's me again. It's been, I don't know, 3 weeks since I made my last video. um, okay, I think I got on the topic of God's will. Should have watched that video again before I made this video. I don't know, maybe I should learn to make my videos like one day apart or something. Um, anyways, people, what I was saying was people confuse, stuff that just happens to be God's will. Some people actually believe that everything that happens is God's will, or else it wouldn't have happened. Crazy, ain't it? Yeah. Forgot what I was gonna say about that. I know I should have made my next video, this video like next day or something. Let's see. I think I'll move on to something else. It's, free yourself. Hmm. Free yourself. So many things. Free yourself from. Um. Hmm. Should have gave this more thought too. I guess distractions. Yeah, distractions. Sometimes we get distracted with other stuff in our lives. I think that's why, my videos are so, far apart. Like, I used to do videos like, I used to do like 3 videos a week. And now I do like 1 a month. Maybe 2 a month. And they're like a few weeks apart. I get distracted. And I get distracted and not just from this, I get distracted from worshiping God, really. I don't know, I get so distracted that I find myself wasting time that I could have been using to worship God or something. Yeah. And I think part of the reason for these distractions was, and I think the longer we've been saved, it's like the longer we've been saved, the weaker the flame is. So it's like when we first get saved, we're so on fire for God that everything is about God. That we spend hours, we spend a lot of time worshiping God. Everything is about God. All of our time is God. We live God. We breathe God. We sleep God. It's God. We listen. I don't know. I guess I spend hours a day listening to praise and worship music. When I first got saved, then over the years, and I find that I'm getting a little distracted from that. I got so distracted from that I don't know. So I was like, I don't know what happened. And when we get in those situations, we try to make promises. Well, we make promises to God that we're gonna do better and make improvements. Yeah, not gonna happen. I mean, with me, during those times when I was on fire for God, everything was about God, when I was worshiping God. Did that for about 6 months before I noticed there's something different about me. Well, it's only been 5 minutes. Yeah, and I noticed that I was different. And now I know that it's called being born again. I don't think I knew it back then. So I guess I experienced being born again before I knew what that was. Yeah. I think I moved on to something else. What haven't I talked about yet? Oh, it's a big subject. Something I'm kind of staying away from until I have more experience on. Oh, yeah, here's something. I think that we all need to have the knowledge that the Bible had, since the Bible was translated from Hebrew and Greek, that we need to understand that we cannot use the dictionary to look up words. And when it comes to the Bible, because it's originally written in Hebrew and Greek. So to have a better understanding of Scripture, you need to look up the original word. Yeah. And I think that's where some people end up misinterpreting the Bible and probably even become an atheist. Like, I know I'm doing a Bible study. I'm kind of doing a study on the word kill. And I found 7 words for kill. There's 7 Greek words for kill. And that's just the New Testament. For some reason, I looked up kill in the like thou shalt not kill. It's a different word. I'm not sure why yet. Maybe I need to do a bigger study on that. Anyways, like thou shalt not kill. That word means murder. I gotta find out if that's I don't know if there's 2 different Greek words for murder that means that or what. Which I guess the Old Testament was actually translated from Hebrew to Greek and then from from Greek to English or something. Like I said, I gotta do a deeper study in that, which we all should, with any word. And we also need to understand that the context of Scripture is only the surrounding Scripture. Like, like if you're gonna read a verse, like a scripture surrounding a specific verse, let's see, let me think of a verse that would sound ridiculous if you just read that verse without connecting it to the other. Okay. You cannot read a single verse in the Bible as a sentence. Does not work that way. And I think that's where a lot of atheists do. They take each single verse in the Bible as a separate sentence. Or at least that's what it seems like. And I think that's how a lot of scripture end up getting taken ridiculously out of context. Like, what's that verse? I think Matthew 19:12. Need to look that up just to make sure. It's either 12:19 or 19:12. Where Jesus is talking about, you might need to read that verse. It has the word eunuchs, something about being, Jesus is something about there being those who were born eunuchs from the mother's womb, and they were born eunuchs, and those who have been eunuchs, made eunuchs by men, or then the eunuchs who chose to be eunuchs. And that verse is taken out of context a lot, at least by atheists, and by some Christians. And if anybody would bother reading the surrounding scripture, you know, like maybe even verses 1 through 11 before reading 12, or better yet, maybe even back up to the last chapter in the chapter before, and just kind of read all the way up until that. They had take a better understanding. And even after, you get this, a verse is taken out of context when you don't connect it with the surrounding scripture, with the surrounding verses. You gotta connect verse 5 to 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, and so on. I mean, I've seen chapter 1, oh not chapter, I've seen like verse 1 in a Bible, I mean in a book, like maybe chapter 15 or something, and verse 1 would start with and. And when verse 1 of a chapter starts with and, then that means that it's continuing from the last chapter. And I think not doing that's what leads us to atheism. We need to have a knowledge of that. And you cannot use your own understanding, because it's not going to make sense. Part of being a Christian means that you're not going to understand why. You don't understand everything. You just trust God. I guess this is it. Bye.